We have received few questions in the Q&A box. Ravichandran, there is a question from Mukund Purani. He's asking, can powder metal be cut by laser cutting without damaging the component?
Can powder metal? No, I don't think it's possible because are you talking about sintered metal?
Yeah, sintered metal.
Yeah. No, I don't think we have tried it, and I don't think it's possible.
And his another query is gear cutting possible by laser?
Gear cutting, you can bring out the shape like a gear, but it will not work like a. It's like, because when you cut, you have a taper on the surface. So if your gear is for a very not so precise application, it's like you're opening your gate or something like that, then it doesn't matter. But if it's for a machine, they'll gear cutting on a laser is not advisable. Because the shade, you can get like a gear, but for the thickness, it will not be the same. Like it'll have a taper, the surface will have a taper. So your machine will not be right. So that's gear is, I would say, a very precise part, which requires a flat surface on the machining. So you have a line contact. But when you cut a gear using laser, you may not get a line contact during machining.
There is another question from Harinder Mohan Singh. Is battery voltage balancing possible in group of batteries?
I might be not exact right person to give you answer, but is it possible through the maintaining the sensors between the batteries connections, and you can drop down and bypass the batteries, and you can maintain the voltage through automation, IoT, and all the softwares. So yeah, it is possible.
Well, there's another technology called BMS, battery management systems. Okay, so in a battery management system, each cell or each battery is monitored for the current, for the temperature, for the current density, for the voltages, terminal voltages, and things like that. So if in case a particular cell or a particular battery is is failing or not up in the mark, then certain relays will come out of that picture, and that particular cell and that particular battery can be eliminated from the circuit. And if need be, the series parallel circuit also can be redesigned such that your terminal voltage and your terminal power can be maintained. Or it can maintain the voltage, but it can give you at a lower power. And it can inform you through IoT and other techniques that the power is available, but at a reduced rate, maybe 10%, 20%, or 40%. So that way, we can also ensure that the systems are safe. Like, for example, of late, we have seen a lot of explosions on the lithium-ion battery itself or things like that. So with a good battery management system, you can avoid all these fire and other nuisances that can come with electrical power storage, especially using lithium batteries and advanced batteries. I hope I answered your question.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Shankar. Mr. Harinder, you would have got the answer. To start with, Mr. Neeraj, you're talking about the 9 pillars of Industry 4.0. What are your views on smart automation in terms of production efficiencies?
I would like to say that we have to utilize all the pillars whenever we designing something in the production. Even Ravichandran sir has told that how laser cutting could be done. But when we add AR, VR to that part, so that could be also help to take decision that could be productivity could be improved or not. If I have to buy new laser machine and I am not known to laser technology, if I could utilize AR, VR, or if he said for a gear cutting machine, laser could be not utilized. I'm not sure. I'm not a master of the laser cutting area, but I can say now 3D printers could be evolved in such a way with the laser cutting technology, and that could be helped to build new gear technologies. Because for the robotics area, we are building right gear with the 3D printer and with the cutting parts. So that could be possible. So smart technology could be invented through all the 9 pillars. So we have to utilize all the pillars in the right way to have best product out of that. That is what my opinion.
To Mr. Neeraj, what I mean to ask is whether it is for SMEs or MSMEs.
Sir, it's how you are looking at your business. It start with say, I would like to automate my light bill in my industry. And if I utilizing solar or I am utilizing PIR sensors, that could hardly cost me for my full factory could be cost not more than 25,000 or 30,000, but it can save me my 10% or 20% on my light bills in the industry. So that could be a much more return on my part. So that could be from SME, I would say micro, medium, and then could be for the large unit nowadays utilizing automation. But we have to focus on small and medium enterprise that have to use these technologies partially or fully as possible.
Okay, then in terms of ROI, for whom this would be useful?
You want me to?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Ravi.
So whatever systems you saw, it's not typically the same ones that can be offered to everybody. It all depends on your business, like what layer is. Whether it's a small industry or a MSME or big corporate. It all depends on how we are going to automate your process. So it's not like each one is a module. Like whatever I showed you can be split down into small parts. So what you want, what is your pain area? So that has to be identified, and if that is automated first, then the benefits will follow. So it's more towards like, it's not just like a system which is stored can be used like the same way for any machine. So we just like first understanding the process, because during my presentation I told you it's highly configurable in the state. How that can be utilized. So what all modules can be utilized for the requirement, and how like where it will improve your productivity, and how better it will reduce your like add-on costs, like your labor, your other like forklift, you have your train, like, so you don't use it for this, so you use it for something else. So you are increasing productivity in another area also. So when you calculate all that, yes, that's how we have to see a ROI. So that ROI also, it's not a straight formula like 2 into 2 equal to 4. It doesn't say that for each and every industry. It's not typical. It varies for each and every industry, for each and every process, and each and every business, how they do it.
I would like to add just one sentence. Corona has taken us to the new era. I really mean to say that, because before that I tried many times to the industry peoples for the cobots and robots. But in the Corona, I can grow like anything because they want replacement of manpower at that time. So this is where pain is. I am really agree with Ravichandran sir that if we feel pain, we can come out that this pain could be delivered with the machines or automations or something like that. Then we are able to change our thing.
Yeah, that is quite sensible. Extending further on it, and then how do you assess the optimum level of automation for a unit, Mr. Ravi?
Optimum level is you have to literally study the process. Like the place you have to study the process, and then map all your pain areas and the areas where you are losing out. Because it's like if somebody comes and tell you that automation will help you in this area, people will never take, because they will say human is more efficient than a machine. It can be there for 10 minutes or a half an hour. Then the machine takes off. It's the human. That's why whether it looks like it may look on the like broad overview that a man is more efficient. No. And especially when repeated activities are happening. It's not like if there is no intelligence, you're just loading it from one place to another. There's no intelligence. So what will happen is, in some areas they get more labor, they don't find a pinch in having that labor. But if I will say, even if they have a automation over there, it will streamline their process, because first when they have the automation, they have to plan. So planning is inevitably brought into. So it is like hidden benefits. Like, so otherwise what happens is people work with with the flow. So when you have a system, you actually plan the system so that, and your pain points are highlighted, your idle time, that's your waste in time in terms of machine time, manpower, or material waste, everything is highlighted. So when you don't have the system, everything is camouflaged. So it's like, first you should know what all your waste is in terms of time, material, in terms of loss of productivity is also a waste. Okay. So when you list out all the waste and then have a system to eliminate all the waste, that itself gives you a high productivity. That's how we really work on the our.
So I think a lot of time and effort must go in initially. The initial homework that you do, or the foundation that you're talking about, is very, very critical in automation. Understand your process fully and then document it correctly such that there is no ifs and buts sort of situation. If this is done, then the next is going to be done. If this is going to take 5 minutes, that's going to take 10 minutes for a situation. So the sequencing of the operation must be thoroughly understood. And secondly, when you are doing an automation project, you have to take your workforce into confidence. If the workforce feels, sort of left out and, it can be a threat to their what we call survival, then your automation will never be successful, no matter how good your automation technology is, or maybe the best PLC or the best robot or the cobots will definitely be a failure. Taking your existing workforce into confidence is one of the primary necessity of automation. If this is not done and the process is not fully understood, then 99.9% there's a very good chance of failure. This is from my experience of automation.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you.
I would like to have explain this with the day-to-day affair which is happening. We have the fast tags. I think everybody uses the fast tags. You breeze through the toll gate, just stop maybe 3-4 seconds, the gate opens, right? So earlier there used to be a guy who collects the money, gives you a token, and you have to, then only he opens it, like he pushes the button, then he opens it. But now that's also an automation, simple automation. The moment you go in, it swaps, it goes to your bank, collects your money, and the feedback is given, and the money is come, and then the thing opens up. So that's also automation. So it's like when the fast tag was said, like that's a mandatory. There was a lot of hue and cry across the country that they should not. But now everybody is enjoying the benefit. So once they get used to it, people, then only they start appreciating the benefits.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Ravi. There are a few more questions in the Q&A box. Yeah. Is Laserhead locally manufactured in India, or we still need to import?
It's still imported. No company manufactures Laserhead.
Okay. And another question is, any application of laser in defense as weapon or attacking the radar signals?
I'm not sure about the answer, but because the laser is also used in defense, and in the industry, we are not allowed to import any laser equipment if it is used for defense. We have to give a prior sanction to get that equipment, or even if you make a machine to manufacture some equipment for the defense, we have to get prior. So I'm not very sure about that, but laser is being used in the defense sector.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ravi. So, Mr. Shankar, coming to you, is RPA technology helping to automate tasks across various industries, and how it contributes to operational efficiencies?
See, basically what really happens in our told you earlier, if the process is fully understood and if it can be implemented using these technologies, then definitely you will have a good return on investment. It all starts with understanding the process.
Thank you. Mr. Neeraj, would you like to add on this?
So, briefly, I am agree with the Shankar sir and whatever Ravi Chandra sir has already explained in the his presentation also. Most probably, we have to look at that part, how we design to execute something. PA process could be designed with some simulation, and that could be evolved through the benefits of the system or factory or production, and that could be analyzed with the advanced simulations, universal integration. That could be the base pillar for that, and then you can simulate with the AR, VR, and something like that, and you can look at that part. Okay, this program is perfectly done, or the process is perfectly done, and that automation could be implemented then and there. That would be helpful to the industry, and such kind of available automations or consultancy or say simulations could be possible nowadays very well throughout the world, and that could be done in any area. So I agree with the Shankar sir.
Thank you, Mr. Neeraj. Mr. Ravi, you made quite a revelation about cutting cost using oxygen and nitrogen. And you were talking about for implementing a smart automation. What level of technology innovations do you see over 100 kilowatt laser cutting machine manufacturing?
That's a tough question. Like, you would have seen people showcasing 30 kilowatt, 20 kilowatt, say, way back in 2020. And whenever I visited the exhibition, I was wondering, will people really use that 20 kilowatt? But now I'm one of the person who advocates people to go for higher, because it gives them more productivity and actually it gives a better quality, and the cost of production is low because it cuts fast. So India is a bit slow, but in China and in US, people are starting using 30 kilowatt and 40 kilowatt. We are still just trying to use 12 and 15. It's not far away, like we are actually following them. Maybe in a year or so, you can see 40 kilowatt or 50 kilowatt machine.
Certainly, that's an interesting perspective, Mr. Ravi. What is your opinion on it, Mr. Shankar?
Well, I'm not very competent to talk about the lasers, but yes, I do have some experience on laser and laser cutting and little bit on laser weighing. Yes, it is what we call a sunrise industry, and a lot of what we call manual work and existing machines, which are when the traditional machines which are being used today can be converted to a laser operated to become systems are possible. And with the emergence of IoT and other technologies, faster production is possible with these kind of newer technologies. And I said adaptation is the most important thing, and for adapt and adopt these technologies, upskilling of the existing worker is very important. If you don't upskill your existing workforce, then no matter what technology you are bringing in, you may not get the right return on investment. So apart from talking about technology, we in India should concentrate on upskilling of our existing workforce, and also the people coming from our colleges and things like that do not have the right unfortunately they don't have the right perspective. So upskilling and reskilling are one of the areas which I think the industry, whether it is MSME or bigger industries, should concentrate on, such that we have a smooth transition from the traditional manufacturing to automated manufacturing processes. This is my opinion.
Yeah, that is very sensible, Mr. Shankar. So the next thing is, how do you see the skilled manpower challenge in growth of automation of these industries?
You see, whenever, say for example, you have a manual machine and then you upgrade it using a PLC, right? So now we need PLC programmers. Now the existing industry may not have anything to do with PLCs. but you still have a large workforce. So maybe you may have to, what do you call, do a little bit of upskilling, or maybe you have to bring in an outside guy who knows about the PLCs. But at the same time, we shouldn't be a threat to the existing people. You should blend the newer people with the existing people, and you should have some sort of a holistic mix with the older generation and the younger generation. It's difficult, but it is not impossible, and it's a must.
Thank you. Yeah, please, Mr. Ravi.
So, sorry, I'm Neeraj, and I would like to add something.
Yeah, please share.
So, Shankar sir is really right about the PLC and all things, but nowadays we upgraded technology such like that a PLC could be controlled through mobile. So we have to convert that technology to be user friendly. That is what I mean to say, because upskilling and reskilling could be possible only through if the user interface is very easy. So nowadays we build PLCs, or in our industries we have so many clients who builds PLC or HMI or something like that. That is now controlled through mobile with the help of design, with the help of graphs. So no parameters need to be entered or designed or processed, and the simulated output will be shown on the screen, and then they insert the parameters inside the process. So that could be done with both the things. Reskilling and upskilling is constant. Change is constant. So we have to upgrade ourselves and our surroundings. But apart from that, we have to create the technology in so easy way that user can utilize it very well in the less typical manner. In between the era, 90s to 2010 is the era where the technology requires the special skills. But nowadays, mobile and cloud computing is there, and we have to look at that technology could be converted to the mobile app or something like that.
So if you really see, we at Mesa, we have a program wherein we have a MOU with at least 6 to 7 universities over here, where we have given them a lab on thermal cutting. So usually when you see people coming out of the industry, we are pioneers in the thermal cutting. So say as oxyfuel, plasma, and laser. Messer is a 125-year-old company in Germany. So normally when a student comes out of the industry, he doesn't know anything about thermal cutting. If you ask him what is plasma, he will never know it. Take it from me. So it's like, it's a must to give skill development in the same, in terms of taking the know-how to the colleges. So when the student comes out of the college, he knows what technology is prevailing in the industry. So we also have established a learning center in Odisha, wherein a laser machine and a plasma machine are running, and we are given the syllabus for the 2-year syllabus, and we have trained the lecturers over who are there. We have brought them here for nearly a month and trained them on the curriculum, so that it's an ITA institute, so that people know when they come out of the industry. So as an industry like this. So otherwise, what they do is they go to the normal, traditional way of manufacturing. Only they know. They don't know the latest technology, how it has improved. So that is, industry years should be a part of the curriculum planning committee in the board. So that will help up upskilling a lot of people. And whatever workforce you have, like we have we normally train our workforce. So it's like training is a part of a KPI. Training is, you have to train your subordinates. They have to train still further. So in our company, if you say in Mesa, we give a lot of emphasis on training. So everybody is up to date on the technology or on the practice.
It is very sensible, Mr. Ravi. Training and upskilling, you are taking quite a good initiative. So further going ahead, what kind of integration challenges you see ahead for this industry in terms of automation and digitization innovations happening across processes?
I would say India is it's a budding area in the industry. Automation is it's like people are slightly have understood, but implementation in terms of ROI makes them a bit what you can say hesitant. But people have started accepting and appreciating the benefits of automation. So we have come to that level. So once somebody enjoys the benefit and then people see that it's better, then people will automatically start using automation on a large scale.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. Mr. Shankar, what are your views on this?
Yeah. Automation is the future as far as India is concerned. If we don't automate, then we will not be able to compete with the countries like China and whatever they call even like countries like Vietnam and things like that are really catching up as far as manufacturing is concerned. So if manufacturing has to take place on a larger scale, automation is a must. And we should now also concentrate on the younger generation and especially the ITIs and diploma, what do you call it, colleges and schools, and implement trade-oriented education. So far, we have been having a lot of education, like I'm a BA, I'm a BSc, I'm an MSc. Okay, you've done MSc physics, MSc electronics. After 5 years, what are you fit for? Nothing. Apart from talking in the air, people don't even are able to use a screwdriver properly. So as I said, trade-oriented courses are the important thing which must be implemented. And I think the Skill India program is doing a good job, but I think a little bit more effort is required. And the industry participation in Skill India is very, very important. So with all this put together, if people can be oriented towards learning skills, that will really help the automation industry.
Thank you, Mr. Shankar. Skill India initiative is a must. And what are your views, Mr. Neeraj?
Yeah, so I'm agree with both of them, but I would like to add something that automation is the only option. I won't say anything else. So that is the one sentence could be the right for anybody who would like to survive, because change is the only constant and automation is the only option as of now. So we have to go with the automation as soon as possible, as we can upgrade ourselves in the whatever better manner. So we have to make automation in the easy way so we can move forward to the world and we become first as a Make in India or program or something like that. So that could be done. Yeah.
Yes, automation is a must. Mr. Ravichandran, somebody is asking, he wants to know, do you have any financing options available for the purchase of your solutions?
Yes, I think we have tied up with Tata Finance, so we can inform, it's like they can take up the case.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. We are reaching to the closing of the session. I would like Mr. Shankar to give a closing statement, please.
Yeah, I take the opportunity to thank OEM for giving us this opportunity to present our views and our thoughts and things like that. I hope the audience enjoy the discussion and the points put forward, and I hope the larger people will be able to get into an implementation stage where automation can be implemented in the true spirit that to enhance not only the quality, the quantity, and also the satisfaction that we get in doing a product which is really serve the purpose and it's lasting long rather than rather than just being a showcase. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Shankar, for accepting my request. Mr. Ravichandran, we would like to have your closing statement, please.
Like Neeraj said, automation is the key for future. and whatever technology advances come up, it's have a bit of automation. It simplifies your efforts. It paves way for a better future.
Thank you for accepting my request, Mr. Ravi. Mr. Neeraj, we would like to hear closing statement from you too.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to thank you, Oemupdates, to create and provide such an opportunity and have a platform for public who would like to understand what is the automation and all the things. And I am glad with my both co-panelists and as the organizer of you and the SNA. And I would like to say that nowadays we utilize ChatGPT for everything, from writing, drafting, PPT, and everything. So it's just a piece of small AI. So there is a lot more to come with the AI, ML, DL. So we must have to upgrade ourselves to compete with them, to become their superior and to make them slave. So we have to upgrade with the automation is our base tool, and we have to be creative in the field of automation. That is the only key area to sustain in this nowadays area after the corona. So thank you very much. And I had mentioned that we have to do something. Reading, listening, and watching doesn't serve now. We have to do practical, as small as possible, then big, then bigger, and then like messes. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Neeraj, for accepting my request.
Thank you, panelists, for exchanging your valuable thoughts on today's enhancing productivity, quality, and efficiency with smart automation. We hope you enjoyed the session thoroughly. Before wrapping up today's session, we would like to thank our distinguished panelists, Engineer Neeraj Shah, Mr. Ravichandran Duraswamy, and Mr. Shankar Balakrishnan. I would also like to thank Mr. Gopal Anand for taking this initiative. We request our delegates and viewers to stay connected with us on our social media handle. Oemupdate is available on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also download our app from Google Play and App Store. With this, we want to announce the closing of today's session. Request you to stay tuned with us for more such sessions. Thank you and goodbye.